What's up, guys? I'm Newbie Dave, and today we're getting a Cartographer and a Fletcher. Let's get started. How's it going, everybody? I apologize that I missed the regular weekly episode last week. Sometimes life just gets in the way. But to make up for it, today's weekend update is basically going to be the full week episode. I'm not going to do a short weekend update. But to start, I do want to come back to last weekend update where I built this bridge. I kind of modified it a little bit since last time. I replaced the little slabs that were in between each of these columns with iron bars. I think the iron bars look a lot better. Now there's no chance of accidentally falling off. Oh, okay. Newbie Dave. What I meant to say was there's no risk of accidentally running off this thing. Apparently iron bars aren't as tall as like walls or fences, and you can jump over them. So good to know. Another little update is between episodes I came back and noticed that, my farmer villagers, they were zombies. I've been racking my brain trying to figure out how that could possibly have happened. And the only two things I can come up with are either somehow a zombie managed to spawn inside the farm here, which I just don't think is possible. I think the lighting in here is sufficient to keep anything from spawning inside this area. But just to be safe, I did go ahead and throw some torches on the corners here. The other thing is maybe a zombie spawned like up on top of the roof there or somewhere else near the walls and maybe like got over here and was able to like hit them while they're working through the fence or something. I don't know. I am honestly dumbfounded as to how it happened, but thank goodness I was still on hard difficulty from all the times I've been running my villagers through the zombifier, and so all four of them were still zombies. None of them have died. Unfortunately, their prices are not like down to one thing per emerald. They've gone way back up. I don't know how that happened. It's a little bit depressing, honestly. I used to be able to get an emerald for like 3 or 4 potatoes, and now it's 20. C'est la vie. But on to today's episode. Like I said, we're going to be getting a Cartographer and a Fletcher, 2 new villagers to go in our villager base, and I'm going to put them up front here. We're finally going to fill out this area up front. My Fletcher is going to go over here. The random block. Anytime you see a random block just sitting there or a random hole, you can go ahead and blame Endermen. They just pick up blocks and then put them down somewhere. So yeah, my Fletcher is going to go over here and my Cartographer is going to go over here. If you haven't heard the news, Minecraft 1.17 should be coming out like any day now, like within the next week. It just kind of snuck up on me, and as I was looking at the calendar, looking at the episodes, I've been doing this series for almost a year. Can you believe that? It doesn't feel like a year, but yeah, it's been almost a year since I started this thing, and I promised to start Season 2 when 1.17 came out. I need to take a little break between 1.16 and 1.17 to kind of come up with a game plan. So all that to say, I need to wrap up this series quick. So that's why we're going to do 2 villagers today. We're going to do another 2 villagers on the next episode, and then 2 more in the final episode to kind of finish this thing out, and then we can call this series done. So I'm actually going to start with my Cartographer, and like I said, he's going to go over here. I need to kind of clean up this area. I need to flatten it out a little bit first so that we have a good flat area to build on. So I changed my mind a little bit. Rather than dropping all this down by a block, I went ahead and raised it all up by a block. So now this whole area is level with the rest of this. And that was kind of why I did it, is I realized if I had lowered it, then this house would have been below this ground level, and I would have had to... It would have been a lot harder to work into the surrounding area. So this build is going to be kind of simple. The outside we're going to do out of dark oak and white terracotta, and then for the floor and ceiling and stuff inside we're going to use spruce. So to get started, I want this thing to be not quite up against the wall here, so I'm going to come in by 1 block on each side. Then we'll go over 3 blocks and we'll do another corner. So that's going to be 1 wall. And then going this way, we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we'll put a block right there. And then we'll put one directly across from it like that. Now, this house is going to be kind of L-shaped. So what we're going to do is we're going to turn right here and go 1, 2, 3. Boom, put one right there. 1, 2, 3. We'll put one there. And there we go. That's basically the footprint of this house. It's not perfectly symmetrical. This side is 5 blocks and this side is 3, but that's okay. Not everything has to be symmetrical. So we'll take each of these corners up by 4, by which I mean a total of 4 blocks tall. So not 4 additional blocks, but just 4 total. Except for those 2 on the end there. We're not going to raise those up, which I'll explain why later, but those aren't actually going to be part of the house. They're just kind of marking where that corner is going to go. Now, in between these pillars, these corners, we're going to put just some dark oak planks like this. And our door is going to be on this side right here, the 3 block side. So I'm going to leave an opening there, and then we'll just go around the rest of the sides with dark oak. Again, except for this basically ignore these 2. These aren't going to be part of the first floor. They're going to be part of the second floor, but not part of the first floor. So we can just ignore them for now. And then above the dark oak, we're going to do terracotta. Now this back wall is going to be completely solid. So I'm just going to fill this whole thing in. And if you want, you can make this wall solid as well, since there's a wall on the other side. I'm going to go ahead and put a window on this side. And then there's going to be a window on this side. And so we'll leave a gap in the middle right there. This wall is going to be our door, so we'll leave a 2 block gap right there. And then we're going to leave a gap for a window on this side as well. This side we're also going to just fill in completely solid. So there we go. We should have something that looks like this now. Now for all the windows, I'm going to go ahead and use black stained glass. I know I've said before that black glass is not my favorite, but I find myself kind of using it quite a bit in this world. And it's starting to grow on me actually. Alright, so for the floor, I'm just going to take out all this grass, and like I said, we're going to use spruce for the floor. And as I always do, I'm going to use slabs just because it takes fewer resources to fill this whole area in. Now, I'm going to start on this side because we're going to do slabs for the floor over here. And I'm going to go ahead and put a torch up just to have some lighting because it's really dark since we're under the island and I don't want to get any spawns in here. But for this side, I'm going to do something a little bit different. So I'm going to actually take some spruce stairs. And we're going to do some stairs kind of like this. And I'm going to replace this one right here with a spruce slab. And then we'll do some planks right there, spruce slab right there, and then slabs on the other side. So we basically got like these steps in a square, except for on one side where it kind of goes up a little bit, kind of like that. And the reason for this is where we're going to put the cartography table, the workstation. I'm not going to put it down until we're ready to move in our villager, but that's where it's going to go. And then we'll throw a door on the front of this thing, and basically the bottom half is complete. I will come back in a little bit and we're going to remove a little bit more of this grass just so that the hill's not coming right up against the building. But that's not necessary to do right this minute. So let's now talk about the second floor. So the second floor is really going to be this part over the entrance, and then this part that I said we're not going to do anything with the first floor. And so the actual workroom over here with the cartography table, there's not going to be a second floor on this part. So we'll take these columns up another 4 blocks, but we're not going to extend the ones on that side. Now in between each of these columns, I'm actually going to remove this top layer of terracotta and replace it with dark oak going sideways like this. And we're going to do that all the way around. We're not going to do it in the middle right here though, because we need to put some stairs in, and I think that's going to get in the way of the stairs. Now we're going to hop down onto the ground, and on this side, on the first floor, we're basically just going to carry this, the dark oak logs all the way over to where we identified our column is going to be. So I want it to come all the way over, but I want this piece right here to be sticking up. So let me put a block right there. And then I'm going to remove that one. When I get back on top, I can put one on top of it. And yeah, that's just a temporary block. I'm going to do the same thing on this side. So now I get back up on top here, I can put a block there, put a block there, and now I can remove those temporary blocks. Those were just there to get the dark oak facing up. And then we'll finish off the back part with dark oak logs as well. Now for the floor here, we're going to use spruce, and I want spruce planks. I only have some spruce slabs on me, so we're just going to double these up. There we go. And then we'll carry these corners up another 4 blocks. And then we can fill in these walls with our white terracotta. And there is going to be a window on every one of these walls, so we'll leave a space in the middle for the windows. We're also going to do white terracotta on the other sides right here. And we're going to do it on this side right here. But again, we're not going to do the dark oak logs below that because I think that's going to get in the way of trying to go up the stairs. But each of these walls will also have a window in it, so we're going to leave a little gap there. Alright, so this is how it's looking so far. I think I'm going to go around and replace, I'm going to replace the white terracotta on this side with dark oak as well, so it matches basically the rest of the outline on the other side. There we go, so that's looking good. Now I'm going to come around to the second floor that's just kind of hanging in midair right here, and I'm going to put some fences underneath these corners. So these are going to be like our support beams that are holding up this side of the house. There we go. And if you wanted to, you could put in some stone or something and put in like a little workroom out here. That might be nice. I don't think it's really necessary for this. Actually, now that I think about it, No. I was just thinking maybe I move the door to this side and then we can like close this area in with a fence, because we're gonna have to put a fence around the door so the villager doesn't escape like we did with our fishing cabin over here, because villagers can open doors but they can't open fence gates. So we're gonna have to do something like that over here. And I was thinking maybe we do that on the other side and move the door over there. But then I remembered we need some stairs to get up here, and the stairs are they're gonna get in the way. So let me see, we're going to put a stair there, there, and there. Nope. And there. And then we'll come back and do some upside down stairs underneath each of these. And now the villager can get up and down to the little upper floor here. So this is basically going to be the living area. And now that I look at it, I think I want to replace these dark oak logs with just spruce planks instead. You're not going to see it from the outside, so it's not going to look inconsistent, and I think that's going to look better. Yeah, I think that's going to look better. So yeah, you can see if we had put the logs here, that's definitely going to be in the way of being able to get up and down those stairs. So that's why we didn't put the beam going across the middle on the inside. Alright, and with that, I think we can now start working on the roof. So I'm going to get on top of the first floor over here first. And this one's going to be pretty easy. I'm just going to do dark oak slabs for this whole thing. So on top of each wall, we're going to come out like this. And then on the outside of the wall, right below that slab, we're going to do some more slabs like this. And we'll do the same thing on the other side. And then if we get back on top here, going up one more, we're going to do just 3 more rows of dark oak slabs, basically giving this thing a flat roof on top like this. Now when you get to this side, we're just going to do solid planks for the whole thing so that it gives it a nice flat edge. If you want, you could bring this roof out 1 more block. Since it's so close to the wall, I'm not going to do that. I don't think it's going to look too weird. Yeah, I'm not worried about it. So that's going to be the roof for the first floor. And for the second floor, we'll do something a little similar, except we are going to go ahead and throw in some stairs, and we are going to make it overhang on the sides by 1 block. So we'll do 2 rows of stairs like this, and I'll go ahead and do both sides first, because I just need to get both sides done before I can do the middle. All right, now for the inside of this roof, right here we're going to just do some dark oak logs on both sides. And these, they can go vertical or they can go horizontal. It really isn't going to make much difference. And then on top, we're just going to do slabs all the way across. And the nice thing about this is these slabs are actually on the bottom half of this block, so we don't have to worry about spawns up here like we did with some of our other roofs, and we had to put buttons up there to prevent spawns. So because these slabs are on the bottom half of the block, we don't have to worry about spawns. So yeah, I think that's pretty much the outside of this thing. Like I said, it's a nice simple build. It doesn't really stand out, or it's not like, whoa, look at that. But it's nice. It just kind of fits into this little corner here. And I like the way that it wraps around the corner and kind of goes with the wall. Yeah, I like it. So for the inside, we're also going to keep it pretty simple. We'll do a bed. We'll do a little bit of carpet. I'll probably come in and throw in like a crafting table or a chest or something. We'll do some spruce fences, just as kind of handrails, and then maybe throw in some paintings or something. So I'll come back and decorate this thing a little bit more later. And like I said, I'm going to wait to put in the cartography table until I'm ready to actually move the villager in, just so we don't get some weird behavior with one of the villagers over in the breeding farm binding to it. Now, one other little detail I want to do to decorate this is I want to throw in a map wall. And so what we're going to do is I'm going to throw up some item frames. I've got some item frames here, and this entire back wall is just going to be covered in item frames, and every single one of these things is going to hold a map. But not just some random map. It's not going to be the same map over and over. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go out and basically map out this whole area around my base, and then I'm going to take all those maps and put them on this wall. So it's going to be one big map of this area made up of a bunch of little maps. Now I'm just going to start with this spot right here where the house is. So I'll go ahead and create a map and we'll reveal it. And as we can see looking at this thing, like my nether portal is almost right smack in the middle there. You can see all the netherrack around it. You can't see much of the base on the bottom right because we have the floating island above us, but what we can tell is this map goes pretty far outside of my base in this direction. So I think I'm actually going to have to go out here and probably, yeah, I'm going to have to go over the river and out quite a ways before I make another map. Okay, so I'm out pretty far outside my base now. I didn't want to go too far because I don't want to like end up skipping over a map. But if we take a look at the next one, these two should match up pretty evenly on the sides. It's going to be kind of hard to tell until we actually hang them up, but I think those two align. I'm going to go a little bit north to explore the corners there. Good. All right, so this is as far out as I need to go in this direction. I think that's west. And so now I need to go back to the east. All right, so I've got all my maps made. Making the maps wasn't too difficult. You just kind of have to identify where the edges of the map are. And my advice is, as you do this, kind of organize them in your inventory in their relative order to each other. So now it should be pretty easy to put these things up on the wall because they should already be in the correct order. So let's see. This one goes there, 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 and there. Beautiful. Yes, nice. So our base should be right here in the middle of this thing, and we're just going out a little ways in each direction. So that looks really nice. You can make this map wall as big as you want. I thought about taking up the whole wall with this. Maybe I'll come back and do that sometime. Yeah, maybe, because yeah, it looks really cool, and I think it would look even cooler to have it bigger. But for now, I'm happy with that. So that is basically it for the Cartographer's house. So before we move him in, let's go ahead and make the Fletcher's home, and we'll just move both of them in at the same time. So for the Fletcher's house, and I'm using air quotes here, it's going to be a little bit different because I'm not actually going to build a house for him. He's mostly going to live outside, much like our shepherds and our farmer villagers over there. And he's going to go in this area. So I want this all to be kind of the same level. So let me level this out with my shovel. This is one of the reasons I didn't bother trying to move the dirt away from the side of this building earlier. It's because I knew I was just going to be coming in and clearing a lot of this out again for the Fletcher. There we go. It's got this whole area cleared out. Pushed it back pretty far. May end up going back farther with it. I don't know just yet. But you'll see why I wanted this to go back pretty far. Like I may even go back to here or so. But anyways, our Fletcher, Fletchers make bows and arrows, and to me that means that this needs to be like a shooting range or an archery range. So what I want to do is you can make these targets, And I forget the recipe for these. It's pretty easy. I think it's like a hay bale surrounded by redstone. So you can make targets, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to have 3 targets with at different ranges. And so let's see, I want to do one. So I'm going to do one kind of against the back wall here, and I'm going to surround these with hay, because if you're shooting at a target and you miss, you want something behind it to kind of stop the arrow. So we'll do something like that. And then we'll come forward a little ways, maybe 3 blocks is good, and we'll do another one of these. And then come forward a little bit more, and we'll do a third one, just like that. There we go. So we've got our 3 little shooting ranges. And then in between each of these, we're going to do some spruce fences like this. And we're going to do this all the way back like this as well. So yeah, I definitely want to push this hill back even farther, because right now it's a pretty short little shooting gallery. There we go, that's better. So we're just going to do spruce fences along the edges of each of these all the way back to the same kind of starting point. And now I'm going to put down some red carpet. So this is basically where you're going to stand. You'll shoot at the target. You know, if you're beginner, you'll take this target, intermediate, and advanced. I mean, really none of these are too hard, but you know, it's role playing. And then I'm going to go ahead and do pathing blocks all the way down these lanes, just to kind of make it look like, you know, an actual little shooting lane. And then let's also do some spruce fences up here just to make sure that, you know, our villager can't escape. Now this is basically going to be the Fletcher's home. I mean, it's not really a home, but this is where he's going to live and work. And so it's really just the shooting range, and then we'll throw in a bed and his fletching table. And that's really kind of it. I mean, maybe we'll do, yeah, let's go ahead and put like a canopy on top, you know, protect him from the sun. I now that I say that, I realize there's a floating island above him, but I think it'll look nice to have something on top there. So we're going to do our little trick with the string here, and we'll put string all across here out 2 blocks. And then we'll go up on top, and I'm going to alternate white and yellow carpet. So we'll do just alternating in sort of a checker pattern like this. There, now he's got a little canopy to you know, provide him some shade while he's sleeping and working. For lighting, since I broke a lot of torches to dig this thing out, we're going to do it simple. We're just going to put some torches. We'll put them kind of on the start of each lane here. And then we'll also go down a little ways, maybe right here. Do a couple more torches. And I'll throw one down here as well. And then we do need something, an enclosure of sorts in front of this house to make sure that our cartographer doesn't escape. So we'll just do some dark oak logs there and there, and we'll fill this all in with spruce fences. And with that, we should be ready to move our villagers in. See, this is what I'm talking about. There's just some weird behavior going on, because this villager has apparently bound to the fishing barrel, even though I already have a villager bound to that barrel. So I don't know. Yeah, the Minecraft rules for villagers, they seem to be a little messed up in Bedrock Edition. So we'll start with our cartographer, and that's going to be you. And so we can trade 7 emeralds for an empty map? I don't think so. Oh man, but I don't have enough paper. We're gonna have to do the bad trade. Okay, so that will lock him in. All right, and there's our cartographer. So now I can go ahead and put down his cartography table, and we don't have to worry about like the wrong villager binding to it or anything. So that's where he's going to work. Come on in here. There you go. And this is your new bed. Just make sure he binds to that. All right, and there is our Fletcher villager moved in. And so now we can put down, no, I left his fletching, no, I picked it up. So we can put down his fletching table and a bed for him. I think I'm just gonna put the bed kind of right here in the corner. And I'll put the fletching table right next to it. There we go, so he is bound to both of those. I'm having a hard time getting my cartographer to bind to his bed for some reason. And I'm wondering if he's bound to another bed in the village. I went ahead and broke the bed that was in my storage room, aka my bed, thinking that maybe he'd bound to that, but he's just, yeah, I can't get him to bind to this bed for some reason. The only reason I can think of for that is that he's bound to another bed already. So I'm waiting for the sun to go down, and we'll see what happens when he can't get to his bed. And I'm curious if for some reason he thinks he can't get up to this bed. I don't see why. That must be it, because when I move it down to the first floor, he binds to it right away. But when it's up here on the second floor, he won't bind to it. Well, I'm just going to leave it down here on the bottom floor then, because I don't want to mess with this anymore. Alright, that's going to wrap it up for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed this episode. We did have a couple of snags there at the end with villagers that we moved in, not binding to the right beds or the right workstations. Like, it turns out that my Fletcher over here, he was actually bound to one of the farmer's beds back there in the farm, and the farmer was binding to the bed over here in the Fletcher's home. So, I don't know, villagers are weird. But I've eventually got it straightened out, and I'm really happy with these two new builds. The front of this base, I think we can now call this complete. Between episodes, I'll take the road, the path there, and I'll kind of carry it around to the front. I'll do some more decorating, throw in some flowers and bushes and everything. Just really clean this area up and get it looking nice. And then this part of the base is going to be done. Like I said, I'm going to try to make a mad dash to finish off this series before 1.17 comes out. And so next we've got the smoker and leather maker, I forget what his name is. We've got those two that we're going to put together, and then we've also got a stonemason and a toolsmith, and I think that is going to be it for this fun new base that we've built for these villagers. So thank you again for watching. Hope you enjoyed this episode. If so, please hit that like button, and while you're down there, feel free to subscribe so you'll get notified of future episodes as they come out. Thanks y'all, and have a great day.